in today's video, I'm going to be answering another of my most asked questions, how to make my curls last. This video is for you if your hair looks great on wash day, but it doesn't hold up into day 2 and beyond. If you're finding that your hair is curly when wet, but frizzy when dry, or if your curls just aren't curling as well as they used to. So let's get into it. There are various factors that contribute to how well our curls hold up, and these include things like your curl type and curl patterns. So looser curl patterns are more prone to dropping throughout the day than tighter curl patterns. And if you have coarser hair, you may find that your hair lasts better than finer hair, because coarser hair naturally has a grit to it that fine, silkier hair doesn't. The health of your hair. So damaged hair may not hold a curl as well as healthy hair does. So this is really common if you're at the beginning of your curly hair journey and recovering from hair damage. And also you may find that your curls appear limper when you're due a haircut. This is true for me. The level of moisture in your hair. So over moisturized hair may not last as well because it may be too soft or it may be weighed down with product, but equally under moisturized hair may also not hold a curl as well. It may be dry and frizzy. The products you use, different products have different purposes and varying hold levels, so the products you use can really play a part in how well your curls last. Technique. The techniques that you use can make a big difference in not only the overall look of your curls, but also how well they last. So things like the amount of water you use when applying your products and styling your hair, brush styling techniques, finger coiling, air drying or diffusing. These will all play a part in how well your curls last, and it's really about figuring out the right technique for your hair type. The weather. So this is something we obviously can't control, but different weather conditions will affect our hair differently, and they'll also affect different people's hair differently. So for example, some people's hair gets really frizzy in humidity, whereas others really springs up and becomes more defined. And lastly, how you protect your hair. So this is something you can control, and if you're not protecting your hair overnight, then it's unlikely that it will last well into day 2 and beyond. So how can you make your curls last longer? If your curls aren't lasting very well after wash day, then some of these tips may help you, but keep in mind that everyone's hair and everyone's hair journey is different. So what works for one person may not work for another, but equally something that doesn't work at the beginning of your journey may actually work for you further down the line, and vice versa. Tip number 1 is to get a haircut. Not only will this get rid of any damage on your hair that could be holding your curls back, it will also take the weight out of your hair, add bounce and lift. These days, whenever my hair is feeling a bit limp and lifeless and not playing ball, unless it's over moisturized, which we'll get into the next step, it usually springs right up after a haircut. Pull back on the moisturizing products. This is one of the most common reasons why people's curls aren't lasting, and it's because they're either too soft or weighed down with moisturizing products. And it's especially common in people who have finer hair, looser curl patterns, or people whose hair is now healthy, because it just doesn't need that level of moisture that it either once did or the other curl types and coarser, thicker hair does. I've spoken about this a lot in previous videos, but moisturizing products are things like curl creams and conditioners, basically anything that's like a cream based product. And because we're always told that curly hair is dry, curly hair needs all the moisture, it's so much drier than straight hair, a lot of us end up going the other way and actually over moisturizing our hair. So I will link my how to rebalance your hair video above. Use products that add grit. If your hair is very naturally soft like mine, then adding texture into your hair with certain products can add a level of grittiness to the hair, which can help your curls stay in place for longer. This grittiness is something that hair types like coarse hair naturally have, so we are just adding it into our hair to give us a bit of a coarser texture to our hair, which in turn should help our curls last a bit longer. I'm always looking for this gritty feeling in my hair, and if you're used to your hair feeling very soft, then you may mistake this grittiness for a producty feeling or like a build-up feeling, but it is different. Producty hair to me feels very greasy and sticky, but grittiness to me just makes my hair feel a little coarser in texture. Some examples of products that add grit to the hair include things like foams, which I like to use between a cream and a gel. Stronghold gel, I find that the thicker, gloopier ones usually add most grit to the hair. Hairspray, which you can use as a finishing product on dry hair, or this type you can use on wet or damp hair as well. Dry shampoo and texture spray, I love both of these. Now some of these products, because they are designed to add grit and texture to the hair, they can be a little bit drying. Some of them do contain drying ingredients like drying alcohols and things like that, but if your hair is very naturally soft, and as long as you're cleansing your hair properly on wash day, I personally don't find it to dry my hair out, but everyone is different, so just do what works best for your hair. Use stronger hold products. First off, hold products are products that help hold your curls in place, that help lock your style in place as the days go by. There are lots of different hold products with varying hold levels, which will all suit different hair types and curl patterns differently. Generally, hold products include things like mousses, which have a lighter hold, jellies, which have a medium hold, gels, which tend to have a stronger hold, and hairspray, which you usually use as a finishing product. Some curl patterns and hair types do just need stronger hold products than others. So obviously, if you do have a looser curl pattern like me, then one of the things you can do is just learn to embrace your curls and your curl pattern as it evolves throughout the week. So on wash day, your hair may be a bit more defined. On day 2, it may be a little looser. Day 3, looser still. And you can just incorporate different hairstyles and things like that into your routine as the days go by. But yeah, it's personal preference, and I personally really love the way my curls last with stronghold products, so I always opt to use a stronghold gel on wash day. And some of my favourite stronghold gels include the Harry Sculpting Gel, which is actually not targeted to curly hair, but it works amazingly well. The best cast that I have ever got on any hair gel. The Curlsmith Shine Gel is another of my absolute favourite stronghold gels. You know I love this stuff if you've been following me for a while. The Curlsmith In Shower Style Fixer, I absolutely love this stuff as well, especially paired with the Hold Me Softly Style Balm. Hairspray wise, I love the Bounce Curl one. I like to use this as a final step after applying my gel on wet or damp hair, basically like a spray gel. I'm actually trying a couple of other hairsprays at the moment, which I'm not allowed to talk about at the time of filming, but if I'm able to talk about it at the time of uploading, I will add a little bit about them in there because I'm really excited to share these ones with you. Use products that contain protein. For some hair types, using products that contain protein can actually make the curls last longer, and it's especially beneficial to fine and damaged hair. So if your hair is very fine naturally, like I mentioned earlier, it lacks that grit that coarser hair naturally has, so adding protein can also add a little bit of structure and stiffness to the hair. So if your hair is fine or damaged, and even if it's like medium fine like mine, you may find it helps, then definitely try to add some protein into your routine. You want to be looking for terms like protein, amino acids, peptides, and things like hydrolyzed oat, wheat, silk. But protein is a very in-depth topic, so I will link my protein moisture balance video above for you. But I do also want to stress that if you think your hair needs protein, definitely try pulling back on the moisturizing products first, like I mentioned earlier, because I've been guilty of, and I know many of us have been guilty of, using protein to balance out the moisture that's in our hair, when often all we actually need to do is just use less moisturizing products. Add more product when your hair is partway dry. Adding extra product for more hold and frizz control about halfway through diffusing is such a good hack, and it's something that I've been doing for years. The product you want to use for this step is something that's going to add a bit of hold and frizz control to your hair. So you could use a foam, mousse, or gel. I personally usually like to use a gel because it adds the most hold. I usually use the gel that I used on wash day, but you can play around. Sometimes people get better results when they use a lighter, thinner consistency gel because it doesn't cause as much frizz when you apply it to sort of like partway dry hair. But I usually mix the gel with water in my hands and then apply it over my hair and gently scrunch it in. And then I finish diffusing, and it may makes such a difference to my curls. Diffuse your hair dry. If you want more defined curls, more bounce, and you want your curls to set in place, then try diffusing. So while you may prefer to air dry, for example, if you live in a hot country, or if you feel like you don't want to spend 30 minutes or however long it takes you diffusing your hair, air drying can give a completely different result to diffusing, because when you air dry, the water weight can weigh your curls down and therefore make your curl pattern appear looser. And then if it dries looser, then it may drop even further as the days go by. So I absolutely love diffusing. I diffuse my hair every single time I wash my hair. I pretty much diffuse it until it's 100% dry, and it takes between 20 to 30 minutes depending on how much product I've got in my hair, the dry that I'm using, the speed and heat that I'm using, and also whether I add extra product partway through drying. If you can give diffusing a go, I would definitely recommend it, because not only will it help your curls dry quicker than when air drying, it will reduce the water weight, which will help your curls spring up more, and it will also help lock your definition and style in place. Patience and trial and error. If you are at the beginning of your curly hair journey and recovering from any type of damage, then your curls may just not last as well as someone whose hair is healthy and has minimal damage. My curls definitely didn't last as well at the beginning of my curly hair journey as they do now, and while some of that is down to my hair health, a lot of it is also down to figuring out what techniques and products work best for my hair. So while you may not want to hear it, there is a lot of time, patience and trial and error involved in how long your curls last, and I created a journal to help you with just that. So in my journal, there's space to write down your hair characteristics and hair goals, trackers for hair growth and favourite products, and daily pages to record your wash days, refresh days and in-between days. So that concludes the video. I really hope you found this video helpful and that it helps your curls last longer. Did you have any light bulb moments throughout this video with any of these tips? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you did enjoy the video, please feel free to give it a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.